I think I should duck face this. Anyways, okay. So I was on Facebook the other day, and you ever see those Facebook memes that are just so funny, but you're afraid to repost it on your wall because it's awesome? The reason why it's funny is because it's just so wrong.
Yes, I usually let my husband post those.
So the one, so this guy posted a thing, and it was this hipster-looking early 20-something dude, and the thing is, well, sure, white people can't say the N-word, but what we can say is, thanks for the warning, officer, and hi, daddy. I'm like, oh, so wrong, but funny.
Wow. That's bold. I like it.
Like I said, I thought it was hilarious, but I'm like, I just can't quite share it. You know, it's one of those things. A lot of people wouldn't be upset with it, but it's going to be like that one token white person that got like a liberal arts degree and makes like $10 an hour.
No,
because
yeah. People have to ruin all the fun things. Why do they have to ruin all the fun stuff?
Because they're bitter inside and they want to make the rest of us join them.
Because, like, okay, I'm just going to touch on two things really quick. We won't go in depth on them because we didn't talk about them before, but they're sticking in my head because of that meme that you were talking about. So, one is Star from Orange is the New Black has gotten on the whole reform the inmate system, bandwagon, judicial system, blah, blah, blah. He's white, and he made some sort of ludicrous statement about that basically his whiteness is why he's never been in trouble with the law.
Okay, since I have a lot of white friends that have spent some time in prison, I'm going to go ahead and say no. Me being a white person, the reason I haven't been in trouble with the law is because I haven't done anything stupid enough for the law to come and find me.
Precisely. Me either. I've seen the inside of a jail and a prison. I'm not looking to live there.
No, and I've heard about some of the activities that happen in the prison, and I'm not talking about like the beating up and all that kind of stuff because whatever. I hear like they like to finger paint with certain things that come out of the body.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah, indeed. And I don't want to play with that. I don't want to be around it. No, I'm good. No,
it's gross. So that was the first thing that popped into my head. And the other thing that popped into my head, and I've been ruminating on this, and I'm really glad that public opinion has made this go away. But evidently, Will Ferrell was trying to get a project greenlighted that would allow him to portray President Ronald Reagan as he was degrading with Alzheimer's. Oh, right. And it would be a comedy.
Yeah, because you know what? Alzheimer's is hilarious.
It is. It's totally hilarious watching somebody struggle to remember your name or their name or the fact that they were married or have children.
Or where they're at that particular moment.
Yeah, where they're at. That's always good. Or, that's hysterical.
Freaking hilarious. And here's the best part. They were going to portray him being in his second term of office with it. He wasn't diagnosed until like 1994. So they were going to portray him like 10 years before he was actually diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And not just beginning stages, like almost like middle to end stage.
Right, because that would totally rewrite history, and we can't possibly have a much beloved president who did a lot of good things for this country, who won in what can only be described as an absolute landslide election. Let's denigrate him for something he couldn't control. That's a debilitating disease that so many people suffer from. Yeah,
does that mean that really a movie about FDR's polio or John F. Kennedy's Addison's disease? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna make fun of one disease, we should probably cover them all. That would be best, in my opinion. So, but public opinion has scored, woo, and he has reconsidered, and that project has now been scrapped.
Yeah, because there's a million things to make fun of in this world. But there's some things that you just shouldn't do. I'm lucky enough not to have dementia or Alzheimer's run in my family, but I know people that have their parent or a loved one that has dementia or Alzheimer's, and it's horrible. And to make fun of it because somebody you don't like had it is, I'm going to use this word, retarded.
Yeah.
By the way, if you don't like me using that word, I changed my name on the Twitters. It's now at Pope Sparkles. A lot easier to remember, a lot easier to spell. You don't like me using the word retard? That's where you find me. And I'll give you the correct definition of that word.
And if for some reason she's not answering you, just go right ahead at End of Girlism. I'll help answer for her because we share a brain, and so it's all good. And I can whip out some Sparkles snark pretty fast. So have at it.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about is I finally, it took me a few days to even want to watch this episode because it's one of those episodes that it's going to be a very biased episode. And the only reason I'm still watching this show is because I'm waiting for it to end because I got to see how it ends because I have so many years invested. And that's Grey's Anatomy. Like, I started at the beginning with all the interns coming in that surgical room. I remember it all. Like, I have watched every episode. And every once in a while
I have watched none.
Yeah. So every once in a while they throw in like their little feel-good messages. Well, not this week, but last week, their thing was on guns. And at the beginning of the episode, they show the main character who lives with her sister-in-law and half-sister and helping, and they're all three surgeons, go figure, and helping the main character get her children ready to take to daycare. And then they go to the the story goes to the hospital, and these two mothers going, there was a gunshot, where's my son? We gotta find my son. Like they're both just crying. We don't know where our son is at. They're bringing him here. Where's our kid? There was a gunshot. Well, the kids haven't showed up yet. They're still being transported. Well, what happened is the two boys were at one of the mom's house and they were being babysat. They were 8 years old. The babysitter left them alone. They were in the house, but left them alone to go make supper. Well, while she was making supper, there was a gun that one of the moms had that was locked in the safe. The kids took it out, decided to play with it, and one kid got shot. And it was an abdomen shot, and of course, goes right for the spinal cord. Because, lucky shot. So the whole thing about the whole storyline is they had the one that was a shooter feeling really bad because, he shot his friend, and their friend is now going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of life because it hit his spinal cord. One of the main characters, her half sister is just in tears because she's like, I don't understand how you can love your children so much and do this every day. And then one of the interns who used to be homeless had a gun because it was her protection. At the end of the whole show, sitting there going, because she got in a fight with her boyfriend about her having a gun. At the end of the show, sitting there going, I've outgrown my gun. I don't need it anymore. Now, here's my thing. And I talked to a few people at work about this because I don't have children. So I talked to some of my coworkers who have guns and have children. And I told them about this episode. Mm-hmm. And they all flipped because they're sitting there going, like one of them started showing gun safety at 4. Like they have like a little pellet gun, you know, like the little BB pellet gun to help, you know, for aiming and learning gun safety. You know, the other one, you know, hasn't taught the kids how to shoot, but has taught them gun safety. Do not play with the guns. Always act like the gun is loaded. They're not play toy, you know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And they act like this. The mother told, like, the one mom who didn't have the gun, and her son is the one that did the shooting. So they go, you had a gun and you never said it. She's like, it was locked in a case. It was, you know, locked up in a safe. And she's like, well, how did my kid know? And I'm like, how did your kid not know? Why are you hiding the fact you have a gun from your child? You should at least tell them this is not for play. Because I was told when I was young, there was a lot of things in my house that were not for play. They weren't guns. But my house was full of antiques. There was definitely no ball playing in my house because there was that many antiques in my house. So I had to learn this is not for play. It's to look at. Kids understand when you teach them this kind of stuff. You know? Mm-hmm. So that was my big rant for this week because I just, stupid Hollywood, I'm sick of you.
Oh, Lordy, I have so many things in my head about that. All my kids know how to shoot. All of them. Every single last one of them. Why? Because we have guns in the house. Why do we have guns in the house? Because we have to. Okay? It's not a want. Well, it is a want. But we have to. So because we have to have guns in the house, we have to know our kids are safe. How do you keep kids safe from guns? You let them know they're there and how to use them and what their power is.
Right. Like, here's my thing. Here's my thing about, because everybody's like all up in the arms with, you know, guns. Because guns are like horrid and, you know, deadly. So are power tools. But you teach your kids not to fucking play with power tools.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. You know, the other argument that I hear all the time is, oh, well, you let your kids know how to shoot. You must be paranoid. Of what? What am I paranoid of? I'm paranoid that they might find a gun and not know what to do with it and play with it and shoot someone. Yes, that I am actually quite paranoid about. So I teach my children about guns and then they don't do that. What? I'm paranoid about somebody breaking into my house. Well, no, not paranoid about that. However, I do run drills and I do know how many steps it takes me to get from my couch to my room, and I do know where to sit in my room, and I have cover and concealment in my room. Oh, and if you don't know the difference between cover and concealment, you're an idiot. Like, look it up. Because concealment is only, hi, I'm hiding behind cardboard. Okay? Cover is, I'm behind a concrete wall. That's the difference. Concealment only hides you. Cover protects you. Learn that, know that, Just let that simmer in your mind for a little bit. But no, I'm not paranoid. But I like to counter with, well, do you wear your seatbelt in the car? And the answer is always yes. Oh, well, then you're paranoid you're going to be in an accident. Do you have a fire extinguisher in your house? Well, yeah. Do you know how to use it? Yeah. Oh, you are paranoid you're going to have a fire in your house, aren't you? No. But you have a tool to help combat that, and you know how to use it. So that makes you paranoid by the logic that you're using. I have a gun in my house and I know how to use it. I'm trying to figure out how you get paranoia from that. And this whole notion of, I've outgrown my gun. Bullshit. You have not outgrown your gun. No one outgrows their gun. No one. I don't care. I don't care what has happened in your life. If you have a gun and you know how to use it, you know it's a tool. You know that it is there to protect you and those around you, and you are not going to give up that line of defense. I'm sorry, you're just not. Now, I could see maybe if you shot your husband because he came home at a time that he wasn't supposed to come home and it was dark and you didn't know that he was supposed to be there and you shot him because intruder. I could see in that scenario maybe being a little like, ooh, I don't want a gun anymore. I get that. Okay, that makes sense to me. But generally speaking, that's not going to happen. And no, I'm sorry. I love my gun. I absolutely love it. I take it pretty much everywhere that I go. I've never had to fire it outside of the range. Never. Not once. I've had it for, 4 years now?
To me, okay, here's how I look at having a gun. Because I have one. I'm hoping to add more. To me, it's kind of like learning CPR. You learn it because you have to drill doing CPR. Because number one, they change the rules every few years. I don't know why. They just do. Because when I was little, for like the first 20 years of my life, I swear it was, you do 2 rescue breaths, 4 compressions, and then you do 1 rescue breath. And that was the thing. Oh, no, now you do to the theme of staying alive, and you don't really do any rescue breaths.
Which I don't understand, because if you got, what, anyway.
Yeah, so,
I digress.
But on the other hand, I know in my head how to do CPR. I know exactly where my hands are supposed to be laid on the sternum. I know how deep I'm supposed to, thrust down. I know, like it's been drilled in my head so many times how to do CPR, what to look for, and da-da-da-da-da. I hope to God I never have to use it, but it's good to have in the back of my head. It's a good tool to have in case something ever happens. Why is it different for a gun? Because somebody in like Hollywood or DC got a bug up their butt? No.
Guns kill, don't you know?
CPR can still kind of kill you if you don't
Broken
need
rib,
it.
broken rib will go right through your lung if you're not careful. They're kind of right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you do break ribs when you do CPR. Little fact that people don't like to tell you about, but I think you can be able to crack the rib.
I said that to a coworker once. I said, the only reason I don't want to do CPR is because I got to crack your sternum. No, you don't. I'm like, okay, I don't know where you learn CPR. The nurse that taught me how to do it had to perform CPR on her husband.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, I practice on a dummy all the time. First time I actually had to use it, she's like, it was the weirdest feeling ever.
Yep. You gotta break. Yeah, it's the quintessential break some eggs to make an omelet. You gotta break some ribs to bring somebody back to life. Woohoo! Yeah, and the gun is merely a tool. It really is just a tool, and I really wish people would understand that more. You know that there was murder before guns were around, right?
No, I'm pretty sure Cain killed Abel with the AK-47. I'm pretty sure that happened.
I don't think that's what it says in the Bible. I mean, I can ask my pastor, but I'm almost positive that's not what it says in the Bible.
Oh, you're right. AK-47 is kind of new. So
Maybe
we'll go with the Colt 45, maybe?
Sure, could be. I don't know. Maybe a Gatling gun. You don't know.
There you go.
But, yeah, people have killed people with all sorts of objects.
Yeah, I hear hemlock used to be really big.
I mean, guns are expedient to some extent, but actually, if you look up like actual facts, I know that's hard. Facts are hard, but most people survive gunshots. It's a true story.
Yeah, unless you get like a really good hit now, because nowadays, like I remember somebody telling me like during like the Civil War, when people were shot, they would try to see where they got shot, because if they were shot anywhere in the abdomen, they knew they were dead, because they didn't have the medical know-how we now have, and so you would die of septic.
Yep.
Nowadays, like literally, you would almost have to shoot the aorta out. Or take out like a really good jugular, like the carotid, the jugular. Like you have to hit like a major artery or vital organ. Like I've seen people take a gunshot to the brain and still live.
Yeah.
Their face is kind of fucked up, but they're still alive.
They're still alive. Yeah, I just don't think people understand that you survive gunshot wounds. Like, more people survive gunshot wounds than are killed by gunshot wounds. It's just, I hate to like dispel that myth, but it's simply facts. I mean,
we've gone over this. Facts are like hard.
Facts and logic and math, all very difficult. They're so hard. But yeah, Grey's Anatomy. Okay, so I feel okay with having never watched it. I'm okay with that. I feel it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I got sucked into like the first few like seasons. So it was like one of those, because this is it's a lovely medical drama.
Yeah, I hear.
First of all, they just swing so far. Like it's like a really bad after school special.
Oh no, Jimmy found a gun.
Yeah. And it's some of the things that they have brought up, it's like, this makes no sense like in the storyline, or it's just stupid to have in there anyways. It's just one of the, it's a soap opera. Like, as you know, you watch soap operas, some of the storylines are just, ridiculous.
I love soap operas because nobody ever works and they all live in mansions. I want that gig.
Not bad, but you know what else I like about it? You really have to be either a really bad actress, or you literally have to really die in life to really die in a soap opera. And even then, even if you really die in real life, doesn't mean that you're going to die in a soap opera. They might just say that you had plastic surgery and bring on a whole new actor.
Right. Like you fell down an elevator shaft.
Exactly.
You needed reconstructive surgery. So now you can be taller and have different hair and a completely different face.
Amazing! Wait, did it used to be white? Well, yeah, but this happened. You mean I went through plastic surgery? Now I'm a beautiful black man.
Oh my God. Okay, this little segue here. So I was rocking out to a little bit of Michael Jackson on my radio in my car because Michael Jackson is awesome. And Megan is sitting in the front seat with me, and she went to like turn the radio station. I'm like, oh no, we don't turn off Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is happy music. That makes us happy. And she goes, Michael Jackson? Didn't he used to be black and then he made himself white? Yes. Well, no, Megan, no. He had a skin condition, and then he had plastic surgery. So, there's problems,
Yeah.
but no, he didn't make himself white. I love my children. They're so awesome. Anyway, that was my little segue there.
Since we're talking about Michael Jackson, let's talk about the next one. Because the next one has to involve kids. There was a study done saying that if you spank your child, it causes mental issues later on in life. I'm not sure what mental issues they're talking about. The only mental issue I ever got, actually I got 2 of them from spanking, responsibility and critical thinking.
Here's my thing about spanking. I think people are confusing spanking with abuse.
Yeah.
And they're 2 really different things. A bop on the butt because you're not paying attention or you have sassed me one too many times is not detrimental to your health or your psyche.
Exactly.
Slapping you silly because you mistakenly dropped food on the floor. Okay, that could cause some damage, both physically and mentally. I get that. So, I actually, this whole spanking thing, I have spanked all of my kids. Okay? Arrest me now. Hook me up. Arrest me. Because I've spanked all my kids at some point in time in their lives. Why? Because they're children and they're brats and they don't pay attention. Mm-hmm. Now, did I just haul off and whack the crap out of them? No. It was, you better work on that behavior or that attitude. You throw that at me one more time. You say that to me one more time. You do this one more time. You are getting a spanking. There was a warning. So the child had a chance to not get spanked. They had an option. They knew. Mm-hmm. Big Fat went and did it anyway. Guess what? This mama don't play. I follow through when I say something.
Exactly. It was funny because I was talking to my mom about this story, and I brought up the fact that because I was spanked a few times as a kid. Wasn't very often because my mom wasn't one of those that went and used like a wooden spoon because she used her hand. Well, that hurts. But I think my last real spanking is I was maybe like around 6 or 7 or something. But the next few years, anytime that I was getting to that point where I was going to need a spanking, my mom would sit there and look at me going, "You want me to go get one of your dad's belts?" That makes you stop and think. Do I want to take a leather belt to the butt? No, I do not, because I'm sort of thinking about all my dad's belts, because you have the wide ones, the thin ones, the new ones that are still quite stiff, and then the old weathered ones that are crying and crackling. So it's like, there's no good choice for what belt, because none of them are going to be soft. They're all going to hurt in a different way. And I told my mom about, that she used to say that. And she's like, "I threatened you with a belt?" She's like, "I don't remember that." I'm like, "I just knew if you were threatening to go get the belt, I pushed the line." And that made me stop and go, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's better I go into my room for a bit. Get out of here.
Time out. Yeah. Yeah. All the kids, I don't think, well, the youngest is 10. We have threatened spanks. But I don't think we've actually had to dole any out for a good couple years.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a good correction tool when they're young. Mm-hmm. Because it does. It really improves that memory. Because you can sit there and try to reason with a 3-year-old. It's not going to work because they don't reason. If you tell a 3-year-old, "Don't do this or you're going to get a spanking," and then they go and do that, and then you give a spanking, they're going to remember a little bit the next time, hey, I was told if I do that, I'm going to get a spanking. I don't think I want that again because it kind of hurt. Or I was, you know. So
yeah, kids remember pain. They really do.
It's one of those things, and it seems like every 10 years, spanking is bad for your kids. No, spanking is really good for kids. If you spank your children while they're young, and then you kind of change up the discipline as they get older, because you don't really want to spank like a 14 or 16-year-old, because I don't think that's appropriate punishment at that age. Number one, they're getting to that age where their reasoning skills really aren't there, and bad things can happen.
Did you see that Mom of the Year in Baltimore that beat the crap out of her son during the riots? That he's like all straight A student, doing really well, and he's like, yeah, I was acting a fool. My mama did right by me. Mm-hmm.
Now, see there, I stand by that mama, because was acting a fool, but along with the beating, he was publicly humiliated. And I remember talking about this when I was in high school, because it was in our government class, and we had to, work in teams, of course. It's never with your friends. Oh my God. And we had to come up with a law that we would like to see made, and what the punishment should be. And the punishment that I came up with, and I had to sit there and convince my teammates the same thing, because fines don't always work. Jail time doesn't always work. I said, but you put, because the law we were looking at was geared more towards young people, like from 15 to 23, like that age group. I'm like, you take somebody from that age group and you put them in an ugly ass jumpsuit and make them do community service in front of their friends. I said, that's going to get them. I said, because now they are publicly shamed or publicly humiliated, and they're going to think twice, because as a kid, you remember physical pain because you're still learning reason. As a teenager, what's the worst thing ever to happen in your life? Humiliation.
Your reputation.
Yep. In a row, hair in curlers, got her slip-on slippers on.
Mm-hmm.
No makeup. Your mama shows up to school like that, you'd be like, kill me now. I'm now dead. Oh my God. Like, no one's ever going to talk to me at the school again. I'm never going to go to prom. I'm just going to wither away in the corner now.
I actually had to, I guess our viewers will notice my hair is fuchsia, and underneath now it's purple. I absolutely love my new hair. But I asked all my kids, I said, am I going to embarrass you if I do this? And they're like, no. Okay. Because I don't want them going through school like, oh, that's the kid with the mom whose hair is weird. Like, that's horrible. But they were all cool with it, and I think partly because I'd had my hair this color before and it didn't bother them. But we're at a slightly different age now, different stage in life, and I just didn't want them being upset. And what was really funny is the girl who did my hair, the first question she asked me was, now, is your employer okay with this? I was like, well, I work from home and my customers never see me, so yes. She's like, cool. So, but yeah, embarrassment is, that's a big motivating factor for that age. Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. And I knew that while I was in high school, but like my teammates weren't quite hearing what I was saying because they were in that mindset. But I've always, okay, like I know I don't look like the most mature right now. But my mom has always told me I have like an older soul, even though I have a kindred spirit with kids. But I understand things from an older person's perspective because Not saying my mom was old when she had me, but my parents were older when they had me. And their parents were also on the older side when they had them. So I'm the baby of the family, but like my grandmother was born 77 years before I was, you know, and it's one of those things you learn different, like the generational gap is quite different. Like, I have cousins, like my cousin's kids are like slightly older than me. So you would think that we would have the same ideals, but no, I actually my generation gap is with my cousins more than it is with their kids, even though we're like the same age, because of where we are in that family, you know, in that generation. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So kind of growing up like that, I had a different understanding than a lot of my classmates because their parents were all like in their early 20s when they had them. And a lot of their, you know, were kind of like the hippies, yuppies type of.
Yeah.
That was not my family at all. Like I didn't even really know what a yuppie was until like late middle school. So I'm like, I don't. What's a yuppie?
The only reason I knew what a yuppie was is my mom had bought a book. Do you remember the book Pat the Bunny? Where it was very tactile and you could like touch the bunny, and then there was the cat tongue and it was all rough, and there were a couple of things. Anyway, somebody put together a parody of that book called Pat the Yuppie. So instead of the bunny like being all soft and stuff, it was the sheepskin seat cover for their BMW. And I can't even remember what the other ones were. It was so funny. If you can ever find it, like, check it out. But I didn't even know what the heck a yuppie was until I read that book. And I was like, wait, what? So this is just a self-absorbed, money-grubbing person. And my mom's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Okay, I got it now. So, yeah. Pat the Yuppie. Check it out. It's awesome.
Exactly. Since we're talking about self-absorbed people, have you seen the video? Have you seen the video? What happened before Steven Crowder took the stage at Massachusetts? That lovely college student who did not like the female on the stage talking about well, first she got upset because Milo, whatever his Greek last name is pronounced.
Yiannopoulos.
Thank you. Said that third wave feminism is a cancer. That started setting the tone. And then this woman got up, and I didn't see her face real well, and I didn't know who I don't think they said who she was. But she started talking, and she was trying to calm the tone a bit from him saying it's a cancer and trying to ease it better. And she wasn't even allowed to speak. There was this woman, okay, girl, because a woman doesn't act like that. This girl, and I would say roughly 260 pounds.
Oh, no, more than that.
I'm being nice. Okay, how about we do this? In all honesty, at least a size 22 to 24. Can we give her that?
Bare minimum, yes.
Okay. So she has her hair.
With a W after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With her hair in a tight bun on top of her head. And it wasn't like a big sloppy bun. No, like a tight, like a librarian bun. And almost cat eyeglass, like similar to what Muffies are, but not as cool. Glasses, no makeup. I don't know what the heck she was wearing. I just know when she said.
She had on like the sport shirt that's like dark sleeves, cap sleeves, and then it's white. But she bought it like 3 sizes too small. And so it was very tight around her arms, which we only know because she did a lot of this.
Yeah, actually, I could do it better because that's how my arms are actually made. Because genetic gene pool. I've talked to my mom about this. I'm like, my arms are not proportional with the rest of my body. Like, they have more fat on them than they're supposed to. And then she told me that I got it from her brother. And I'm like, thanks. So this woman, I got to get my arms in the shot. She's like, hate speech, hate speech, hate speech, hate speech. I'm like, and then she's almost in tears yelling this because she's so sad because they hurt her feelings. Hate speech, hate speech. We don't want you here. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Milo did a hashtag. What was it? It was like a Triggly Fuffle or something like that. It was so hilarious. I'll have to look it up because I can't remember. But he was trolling her hard. This girl, she has parents. Now
you can tell her parents never spanked her because there's no way she would act like that.
Oh no, she was their special snowflake and was able to do whatever she wanted because she was super beautiful and super smart and like she could have her own opinions because she's a woman and women can have opinions, okay?
You know what she kind of reminds me of? Another really great like Facebook Tumblr meme. I think it was on it originated on Facebook, but I saw it first on Tumblr. This girl, she wasn't all that big, but she was a bigger girl, and she wasn't curvy. She was just big, like kind of like oversauce, kind of like a overstuffed sausage type of big, where just there was like no curves anywhere. It was just, and she took a picture like where she's like looking over the shoulder to show off her backside, which really was like non-existent. And she's sitting there going, "Sorry, black guys, this is for white guys only." And just there was like a thread sitting there going, "On behalf of all the black guys, we thank you." The white guys are like, I think the Asians should really take a hit. Like it was going down. Like, who should do this? And the last one was sitting there going, "I think the Muslims should take one for sorry, we don't eat pork." And I'm like, oh
wow.
Ouch. It's one of those people that have never been told. I'm not saying you have to tell people negative stuff about them, right. But a reality check. Like, I know when I look in the mirror, I am not Angelina Jolie.
What? That's a lie.
I know, right? I do not have a butt like J-Lo. Excuse me.
I've been telling everybody that I'm BFFs with Angelina Jolie.
Exactly. It's a reality check. I know what I look like. I know what the responses are going to be if I go outside right now in a sleeveless gown or a cocktail dress, because I don't wear gowns, but a cocktail dress. I know what the reactions are going to be if I wear it. I also know what the reaction would be if I took my friend from high school out in a similar outfit. Guess what? She is more proportional. She's a lot thinner. It works on her.
There you go.
Strapless does not work on my body. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to dress your body. Not what you think you want to wear, but what you actually should wear. But I digress. This
women up there, burkas may be the best thing for them. I'm saying.
Might be, but this is
again. Hope Sparkles on Twitter.
Yes. Don't forget, send us all the hate. We love the hate. But
get off your hate.
I think the most, because we're running a little low on time right now, and I really want to talk about this last one.
Okay.
So let's talk about the special snowflakes in the entitlement crowd and people who think they know everything but are irretrievably stupid. I'm talking, of course.
We have only a few people in the population. Okay.
Right. So I'm talking, of course, about this woman who wrote a book titled. Well, actually, I don't even know the title of the book, but basically, what she wanted was maternity leave without the baby. Because, see, she was jealous of all the ladies in her office just going and getting a 12-week vacation. And I kid you not, that's how she kind of put it out there. 12-week vacation, and then coming back stronger and more in tune with who they are. And because she is childless and manless, I know that's shocking. She decided that she needed not a maternity leave, but a maternity leave. Okay, can I just say that on behalf of all moms around the world who have birthed children, if you think maternity leave is a vacation that is all about self-actualization and relaxation and empowerment, you're an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much. Being a person that's never spewed child, nothing says relaxation more than a little 8-pound thing that likes to scream every few hours. Not only that, but pretty much their whole life for the first couple weeks is just a cycle of sleeping, eating, and shitting.
Yes.
Because that just screams relaxation.
Oftentimes on the mother.
All the time, I'm like, wait, I still got to shower. I want to sleep. Can I eat today?
No, there's no showering. You get pooped on, peed on, vomited on. There's blood everywhere for no apparent reason. And you're trying to heal because your body has just gone through. I don't care if you have had a vaginal birth or a C-section. You are trying to heal, okay? There are stitches somewhere on your body.
Right.
Something has been stretched in a way it was not designed to be stretched.
Well, kind of was designed that way, but I understand what you're talking about.
Not with the C-section. Like, you're not supposed to cut it up and stretch it that way, okay?
Right. Basically, you just had something the size of a watermelon removed from your body. Your body needs some time to go, whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
I have to adjust a bit.
I'm going to heal a little bit. But here's the kicker. There's no rest. No, there's no rest to heal. No, because you have a small human who is fully reliant on you to cater to every wail, cry, cuddle, coo, anything they need, want, and or desire. You are changing diapers as if, like you kind of want the child to go diaperless because it seems a waste of time to put diapers on them.
Yeah, I remember my niece's face during that phase because it's just like I would go to her house and we were visiting. She changed her son and we start talking and it wasn't like in our minds wasn't too much later. We're like, we need to change him again. Why? Because they go once an hour.
Yeah. Oh, and can we talk about waiting for the belly button to come off?
Oh, that's always fun.
That's good. Watching a part of your child turn black and fall off. That's awesome.
And you gotta have the diaper just right.
Right. You can't have it up over it. It's got to be underneath it and tucked in and whatnot. Oh my goodness. But
you gotta have it just right because you don't want it to leak. No.
Oh God, you don't want that to happen because slimy. And then, and then let's talk about your sleep pattern. Because you totes have a good sleep pattern. If you are lucky, you can get that baby to go to sleep at around 11. At night, people, at night. And you're like, oh, I'm not carrying anything. There's nothing on my boob. I can sit. Oh, wait, no, I can't because stitches. Ow. And then you finally climb into bed after you've taken your very careful shower and peed and pooped very carefully in your toilet for fear of splitting your stitches because awesome. You finally climb into bed. Oh, you pull those covers up. Oh, you lay your head down. Wow, crap. Because by this time it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, by the time you're able to actually climb into bed and sleep, because there's things to clean and pick up, and that's when you get a shower, is when the baby goes to bed. So you're finally good. Baby wakes up. They need food. Guess where their food is? Right here. They're called boobs. And they give food. So you have to get up and you got to go take care of that baby. Cool. You sit in the rocking chair. It's actually a really sweet moment, whatever, and usually you're zombie mom and whatnot. But then the baby goes back to sleep and you put the baby back in the crib. Carefully, because SIDS. And then you finally go back to sleep. 2 hours later, the cycle repeats. Finally, about 6 a.m., you realize there's no sleep. That's not happening. So now you're back up for the rest of the day, and you dress the child in the cutest little onesie, which they promptly poop and pee on, and then sometimes vomit on. And on you. On you.
By the way,
yeah.
Interjection. You know those shoulder flaps on the onesie? Do you know what those are for?
No.
Okay, I learned this after, raising other people's children for, years. Those shoulder flaps on onesies are so, if the child pukes and gets on, it fits over their shoulder so you can pull it down this way instead of trying to go
shut the front door!
I know!
Future moms, pull them down, not over the head. Right? Where were you 10 years ago?
I didn't even know this 10 years ago. I just found this out a year ago.
All right. Well, future moms, just so you know. But now we're really running low on time. Anyway, this woman who believes that she should get this maternity, I'd like to throw a punch her. Hard. Maybe in the crotch.
Right. Here's the thing. Okay. I wouldn't call it maternity, and I wouldn't say I want a maternity leave because, rather, would I like to take a 6-week vacation from my job and from regular life? Yeah. But what adult wouldn't?
I want to.
Huh?
I want to.
Right. What? Like I said, it's every adult is 6 weeks, no responsibility, don't have to wake up to go to work. Even if it was 6 weeks, where you can sit in your underwear all day. Just something to break that cycle in your head. It gives you, every adult would like that kind of a chance. Yeah. We can't afford it.
No. And this bitch actually said she would like to maybe do a fake baby bump.
I saw the big belly. I'm sitting there going, you're going to waste money on that shit? Dumbass.
Well, and how fraudulent. I'm sorry. For all the real moms out there, we earned our stretch marks. Suck it.
That's up there with somebody shaving their head and saying they have cancer. Don't do that shit.
Don't do that. It's not cool. It's not right. It's fraudulent and it's stupid. Oh, and by the way, for the maternity leave, generally you don't get paid. No. So anyway, now we're. I think we're almost out of time.
I was gonna say because currently, I know my job, it falls under FMLA, and you don't get paid for FMLA.
No. And we have like 20 seconds.
Huh? We
have like 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Hey, Pope Sparkles on the Twitters and on Tumblr. Bye.
And In-Depth Girlism on the Twitters. Find us on Facebook. Love you.
Bye.